with Joseph Skoda. And you know my office changes from time to time. Sometimes it's in my car, sometimes it's in my living room, sometimes on the beach. But today I'm fortunate to use the office of Attorney Michael B. Clayton here in Santa Maria, California. Hello, Mike.
What? Here we are. Yes.
Hey, good to have you.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Now, most recently we did a Veterans Day barbecue that you've been heading up for the last 17, 18 years?
18 years we did. This is our 18th year to barbecue, and this year we did it for your organization, the Disabled American Veterans.
Hey, Disabled American Veterans.
And your motto is, we're not going to leave nobody behind. No veteran's going to be left behind. And so what an awesome thing that you do, and allow me to look in your window and be a part of that for our 18th barbecue. It was a whole lot of fun. We appreciated that. We made $1,700 in donations, which we gave to DAV. And what happens with that? Where does it go from there?
Well, actually, we're going to use that money. We're going to help with scholarships. We're going to try to refurbish some things. We don't even have a computer in our office. Really sad. We're hoping to get another fundraiser in the near future to get that. It's not a necessity. So I bring my laptop everywhere I go to do a lot of different things with claims that we talked about earlier.
So you do claims for the veterans to try and help them to get the services that they need.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's what we're talking about. I really appreciate that. That's why I want to be aligned with him, because that's what we need to have. We need to clone you about 10,000 times, and we need every veteran out there to get the services and the help that they need, because you know that at least 22 of them on the average per day is committing suicide, and that's not what we should be doing. We should be helping these people.
Well, let me ask you something. What got you involved with helping vets in the first place? You thought at least 18 years with the barbecue, but probably happened before that.
Well, in year 2000, I was watching a movie, Saving Private Ryan, and that was a Spielberg movie. And after watching that, it wasn't real. It was just a movie, but it was so dramatic watching the fighting going on and what they went through and what they subjected themselves to. And then after the movie was over, I said to myself, I'm not doing a thing for the veterans. I'm not doing a thing. I should do something for them. So we started a barbecue that November, and we had enough food for 1,000 people, and 300 people showed up. And so we got back around, and we're sitting around the table the next morning, and the secretary said, wow, what a failure that was. We only served 300 plates of food. And I said, you know what? We served 300 veterans out there is what we did. And that's a fighting force. And so we're going to do it again next year and then next year. And so this past year was on a Sunday, and we served 1,400 plates of food. Wow. The year before that was a Saturday that we served 2,000 plates of food. The year before that was a Friday, and we served 2,500 plates of food. So the weekends are down because there's more things for the veterans to go to, and we're very happy with that. We don't compete with anybody. We are on the same page. So if you got an event going on and I got an event going on at the same time, get as many veterans as you can. I'll do the same over here, and we'll see how many veterans we can totally take care of in one day. Why not?
That's a good point, because this year, the Veterans Day, we obviously have a ceremony at the cemetery also. Right. And some other places around the community. So to get 1,400 is a big deal.
So we're open for the barbecue between 10:30 and 3 o'clock. So if there's other functions going on, I assume they're going to hit other functions and then come over and maybe grab a plate of food in the afternoon. Do you need your military ID? No. We know who you are. We can see. We can spot you. We know who you are.
That's
Come on over.
We stand out.
And if you're not a veteran and your family was not in a veteran, then for only $5 you get a heaping plate of food, and that's how we came up with the $1,700 to throw to the DAV and the worthwhile cause that you do.
And what I appreciate is every year you pick an organization to help out, because the donation jar that comes out, it goes to whatever organization you decide to.
We want to do a local one. We want to see the money in action here locally. So we did the freedom flights that are here.
Oh, yeah.
We did. And Jade knows all about that, and he came over and told us about it. And there's other things that we've done. The Vietnam veterans. There's 2 organizations here. one for each. Next year, we're going to be with Steve Baird and the Band of Brothers. Is very cool. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll have him on the show in a couple weeks.
And, hello, Steve, right now. I really appreciate him. He's really cool. And he came over and he even spoke at this barbecue. And I told him at the microphone, hey, next year, it's for you and your guys. And it means a lot to be able to see these guys come together for the veterans who are helping the veterans like you and your organization.
That's right. You know, a couple of days ago, there was a fellow Air Force veteran that had, and I think you know, Sandy Blair.
Yeah.
Had a big tiny house event, and Steve and myself were both speakers.
I just seen her the other day. She came into my office, and I said, please come to our veterans barbecue, your veterans barbecue, and bring one of those tiny houses so we can showcase it. Yeah. She said she's going to be back next year with these tiny houses.
Absolutely.
I asked her, how did you get started with that? And she says, you know, when you get out of the service, all you've been thinking about is a small little area that you're in and what you have to do to survive out there somewhere. And then when you come back from the service, now you might be walking into a bigger place, maybe 1,000, 2,000 square foot. And she says it's almost scary. And she says to have this little tiny home and to say it's yours in your area, she says that's why she's making those, because she was putting herself into that situation. Yeah. And really nice lady, and I can't wait to see her next year as well. I can see somewhere in the future we're going to be barbecuing for the tiny home.
You better believe it.
And that sounds like a lot of fun too. She's really good. I enjoyed her a lot.
We have a lot of great veteran entrepreneurs. Those that got in the military, and often they take them a long time to find ourselves first. And then you either go to school, get a good job, or become an entrepreneur. We have a lot of that here in the Santa Maria community.
And a lot of industrious people, and most of the people in Santa Maria know where the score is, know that our veterans are why we're doing what we're doing. You know, there's a lot of people that just don't get it, Joseph.
I know. We talked about that earlier. Like, why don't you understand what we've gone through to bring in the little bit of freedom that we do have, a little bit of peace of mind that we do have.
I saw a video clip the other day that had a gentleman standing in front of a burger joint there ordering some hamburgers, and he asked if he could get a military discount. And the lady that stood right behind him, who was never in the military, she says, what, you're not in the military now? Why do you need a military discount? That's not right. You just pay for it and let's go. And he couldn't believe what she said. And he said to her, you know, I left my family and I went to a tent that was freezing cold, and I had to fight in a freezing cold situation, and I was away from my family, and I was away from them during their games and during their birthdays and Christmas and all the nice times. And you weren't. You probably were at home, snuggled up with your family, and I was out there sacrificing myself for the nation. And to ask a 10% discount on a hamburger doesn't seem like, ma'am, it would be that much. The guy standing behind the lady comes up and says, you know what? I'm going to pay for your meal. Don't you even worry about it. I got your meal. I can't believe she just said that. I can't believe I witnessed it. The manager behind the counter says, no, you're not paying for his meal. I'm giving it to him for free. I can't believe she said that either, and invited that lady to go to another restaurant and leave. That's the way it should be. We appreciate those people that recognize what a veteran's all about. And we appreciate you and your family, because I know you've got a load of people in your family that was in the military. So what more can you say for your family and for those families out there that sacrificed for this country?
You know, I appreciate that very much. There was 4 years in a row where I was deployed for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. 4 years in a row to the Middle East. The Middle East, where most of them don't appreciate us anyways. And they come here and not get 90 cents off on your meal, you know, 10% of a $9 meal is a slap in the face.
I was called out by the veterans of Desert Storm. They said, we see all your banners up there welcoming everybody home from every area of war, but what about Desert Storm? Well, she didn't say that this year. I had a big old poster welcoming Desert Storm as well. She walked in the door and she started crying when she saw it. It means a lot to the veterans to say thank you.
There's a lot of tears flowing during the Veterans Day and Memorial Day and everything else you support. And we appreciate what you're doing for us veterans in the community.
I can't think of a more worthy or worthwhile cause than to say thank you to somebody who put their life on the line for me, and they don't even know me, and they were out there fighting for the country that we all enjoy and the privileges that we have.
I know. We do have privileges that a lot of nations don't have.
They don't.
Believe it or not, until you leave this country, you don't really fully appreciate what we have.
Yeah, in some other countries, you say the wrong words, then you're going to lose your hand or your life, just like that.
Better believe it.
Wow. And they're trying to take our Second Amendment rights from us, Joseph. They're trying to take our guns from us.
I'm telling you, it's every obligation of an American citizen to defend his family. It's our obligation to defend our families, the one we promised our spouses we're going to do.
Right.
And when someone says, darn it, I'm gonna take your life or threaten your kid, and we can't defend them?
What, we're going to shoot spit wads at them? Are you kidding?
No. If you take away the weapons of good Americans, good citizens, law-abiding citizens, the criminals still have theirs.
Yeah, so the good people don't have a gun, but the bad people still going to have their guns. They're still going to commit crimes anyway.
Yep. Come on, people. Let's be realistic and support our Second Amendment. Make sure everyone's trained properly. Not everyone should have a firearm, but you should be able to get the training to own one.
And then we should send the teachers from the schools to get trained on them, or have ex-military that can be at those schools that are completely trained, that can be able to take any hit from anybody coming in and to be able to dish it right back out. I saw on the TV not too long ago where a guy went into Texas schools to shoot him up, and he started shooting, and he was killed by 4 people who shot him 9 times. Now that's defense right there.
That's defense.
Now you're not worried about the guy behind the counter. You're worried about all the patrons that are in the store.
Better believe it, and that should be a deterrent for you criminals out there, because we're coming after you.
We don't have to come after you. We just have to hang around and do what we're doing. And if you present yourself in front of us in a rude, angry, threatening manner, and you want to kill somebody,
we'll take care of it.
We'll take care of that. I like that. That's military talking right there.
We'll deal with it.
Wow. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show to say hey out there to everybody. And you know what? This is a great organization that you have going on, Joseph, and to be part of the Disabled American Veterans that we got to plug into you meant a lot. It means a lot.
It means a lot to me. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. You.
Well, everyone, there you had it. This has been In the Office with Joseph Skoda, meeting with one of our local heroes that's helping the veterans in the community, and he's doing a great job, and we appreciate Michael B. Clayton.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. I appreciate you guys very much. You guys have a great day.
See you soon.